52 Traders, episode 113.
It really isn't as much about the strategy as one might think. It's really more about how you handle yourself and make rational decisions when something goes wrong.
Join Cam every week on the 52 Traders podcast or at 52traders.com to learn how to trade like the pros. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not investment, trading, or financial advice of any kind.
What's up, traders? Welcome to another installment of the 52 Traders podcast. I'm your host, Cam Hawkins, and today we have Carley Garner on the show. Now, Carley's got quite a list of accolades here. I mean, she's from Las Vegas, Nevada, which I want to talk about in a second anyway. She's an experienced commodity broker, but she's also written 3 books, one on high probability commodity trading, a trader's first book on commodities, and currency trading in the Forex and futures markets. So, and also commodity options. So she's got a wealth of knowledge and experience, and we managed to drag a lot of that out of her during today's show. She also writes for Stocks and Commodities magazine and has also featured on Jim Cramer's Mad Money for a technical analysis, along with a whole bunch of other things as well. And what we really sort of dive deep on today is the strategy that she pretty much uses all the time, and it's probably one of the lowest risk strategies I've heard on the show today. I mean, it seems to be a sophisticated strategy that anyone can pick up, but we dive deep on that here today and find out how it works and how you can potentially adapt it to what you do. And if you're not into trading stocks, options, futures, then, I mean, look, it's really good to get an idea as to the other side of the market and how other people are looking at, placing trades and what they're doing, just so that you understand how the market works. Now, before we get into the show today, I first want to touch on, as I mentioned before, where Carley comes from. So she's from Las Vegas, Nevada, and we did the interview shortly after the shootings, the terrible atrocity there with 56 odd people dead, guy shooting from Mandalay Bay Hotel. I've stayed there before myself, and it truly is just one of the worst mass killings in America. And look, what it highlights for me in hindsight is time. What are we doing with the time that we have left on this planet? Okay, so this it's happened. It's been mentioned in an episode before with another trader who sort of talked about the fact that not the chance of you living and waking up tomorrow is low, but it's a binary chance, right? So it's either you're going to wake up tomorrow alive or you're not. So it's sort of 50-50. It's 1 or 0. Now, the question that raises for me, and hopefully for you guys as well, is what are you doing with the time that you have today? What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing around your trading? What are you doing to progress, to get to those goals? Do you have goals? Have you set out those goals? If you haven't got goals, set the goals first and then start doing some stuff, okay, towards those goals. Now, think about what are you doing today with the time that you have? Have you had a hard day at work? Are you thinking, look, I just want to sit down and watch some TV and mong out in front of the TV on the couch and guzzle up a pack of chips? What is it that you're doing that's not productive that you could otherwise be productive? And not think of it as work. Think of it as a bit of fun. And look, I had this struggle, and I mentioned it in my previous episode with, back testing was one of these things mentally I just struggled to be able to do. Now I've broken the back of it and I'm doing it. I actually enjoy it. And I can sort of do it in a way that is enjoyable for me, but it's still productive with the time that I have and making sure that time that I have is helping me get to my goals of trading. Okay, so guys, the question that I leave you with today before we get into this interview is, what are you doing with the time that you've got today? Where are you wasting that time? How can you be a little bit more efficient and a little bit more productive, either learning or testing or sort of creating those sort of neural nets and pathways in your brain to solidify some of that thinking around the markets? Right. Okay, before we get into the show, do remember, if you do want to hear the full episode, you're going to get a bit of a sneak peek of it now. If you do want to hear the full episode, just jump on to 52traders.com /pro, and you can sign up as a pro member. There will be a link in the show notes. It's less than a cup of coffee. It's $4.97. Give it a try. see how it goes. You're going to get videos, you're going to get show notes, you're going to get access to the full interviews from interview 52. And look, I tell you what, there's a whole lot of great content in there, stuff that has fundamentally made me look at the market differently, and I know will make you look at the market differently as well. Now, last thing before we get into the show, it is November. We're coming up to Black Friday, and I'm going to have a special on my Automate My Trading course. So guys, if you're thinking of automating your trading, then please keep an eye out for that. In actual fact, better than that, jump onto automatemytrading.com and you'll find an opt-in form there. Put your email address in there and you will find out about this announcement. I don't know if I'll announce it here on the show, but I'll announce it over there at automatemytrading.com. Sign up over there and you'll find out what it is. Can't wait for it. So that's coming up later on in this month of November. Right, guys, let's get on with the show and hear from Carley. All right, folks, so we got Carley Garner on the show. So hi, Carley. How's it going over there in Las Vegas, Nevada?
It's going great. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Now,
pleasure to be here.
it's well, we had a quick chat before the show and on email as well. So terrible atrocities over there in Vegas just recently with the shooting. And how are things going at the moment?
Things are getting back to normal, if there is such a thing as normal anymore. It's definitely, if anything good has come out of it, I can honestly say it brought the community together. Everybody's a little closer than they were before, but it's going to take a while to heal.
Yeah, it is indeed, and I've got some friends going over to stay at the Mandalay Bay in just a couple of weeks, which is a month after the shootings, and it was they were a little apprehensive to go there, but I think life just goes on, and people just have to get on with things and carry on as per normal. Otherwise, these sort of weirdos end up controlling the world.
Right.
So look, Carley. So we got you on the show here now. You've written a few books, I can see. So you know your stuff, and you're basically now running. Do you want to give us a sort of background? You're running a brokerage firm, and you're trading yourself, and as part of the brokerage firm. Do you want to give us a quick potted history as to what your business is and what you're up to?
Sure, absolutely. So I am a futures and options broker. I do run a brokerage firm in Las Vegas. That's what I do for a living. And with my obligations as a broker and my responsibilities, I do provide our clients with trading recommendations and ideas and research and things like that. And I think that it's only fair that if I'm giving people advice, that I take that same advice and do it in my own trading account. To be honest, any of the trading that I do in my account is it mirrors exactly what I'm recommending to my clients. So we're all doing the same thing. We're all in the same boat. I do it on a small scale in my account, simply because I've found if I try to do anything substantial in regards to size, then it becomes a little more of a conflict of interest in, being able to properly assist my clients in doing what they need to do. So that's kind of the gist of it.
Okay, so how did you first get into this game anyway? When did you start trading, and how did that all kick off?
I joined the brokerage industry in 2004, right out of college. Honestly, I was originally planning on being a stockbroker. I stumbled into commodities because I found that the stockbrokerage side of things, or at least the internship that I was doing at the time, was more, it was like selling loaded mutual funds and things like that, and I didn't find a lot of value in it, and frankly, I didn't think it was very fun. And on top of that, I'm not the greatest salesman, so it just wasn't a good fit for me. Happened to stumble into the commodity business, and I've loved it ever since. It's exciting. It's not easy. It's very difficult, and in regards to the brokerage side and the trading side, it's a challenge every day, but that's what I love about it.
And so what commodities are you trading?
So we really we do a lot of option trading, and so we're not focusing on one particular commodity market. We're looking for basically volatility, and so that might be in corn, it might be in soybeans, it might be in crude oil, natural gas, gold, treasuries, currencies, stock indices. It just depends on what's going on in the markets. There are times where we have, I'll have one trade on, and then there's other times where I have 10 trades on. It just depends on what's going on. So we really try to stick to liquidity, though, and when you're talking about the futures and options markets, there are hundreds of markets listed on the exchanges, but there's really only probably about 10 or 15 that anybody has any business trading. The others are illiquid and it's hard to hedge because there's not really an option market for them. So we basically stick to the E-mini S&P, the 10-year note, the 30-year bond, the euro, British pound, yen, crude oil, natural gas, live cattle, lean hogs, the grains, corn, wheat, soybeans, and I can't remember if I mentioned crude oil and natural gas,
yeah,
but those are in there as well. Okay. So we stick to liquidity, but it's more what we focus on rather than one particular market is we focus on one particular strategy, and that's premium collection.
Okay, and so just quickly, so when you say we, I mean, you collectively sort of placing trades with other people within the firm, or how does that work?
When I say we, is I'm referring to basically our brokerage service. So again, I'm doing this all in my personal account as well, but it's I'm also giving the ideas out to our clients, and so we're collectively participating in roughly the same trades. I mean, most of our clients are online traders, so they're not getting in and out exactly where we are or where I am, but it's pretty close. I mean, I give them the prices, and then they work their orders from there.
Okay, and so you talked about making a premium. I mean, do you want to give us a bit of an explanation as to how that works? All right, folks, hope you enjoyed that teaser of this hour-long episode. It was quite a long episode, and I did have a bit of a cold on it. You can hear my voice is a bit nasally there. Vitamin C tablets did sort it out, but look, if you want to hear the full thing, go on to 52traders.com, or if you're on your phone, there should be a link to the show notes there where you can actually hear the episode online, but you can also join as a pro member. Give it a try. $4.97 gets you not just this episode, which is packed full of value, but also a handful, more than a handful, handfuls of episodes that I've recorded. The first 52 are free, so if you've listened to this and you haven't heard any other ones, then jump back to first 52 episodes, download them onto your phone, listen to them while you're in the car, while you're on your walks, runs, whatever you do, commute, and you'll catch up with the story. It's a great story. We're getting closer, guys. Trust me, I'm getting closer myself, and hopefully some of you guys are getting closer as well. In actual fact, I know you are because I'm talking to you offline as well. So, guys, I'm happy to see guys that are listening to the show are actually having success off the back of it, which is what it's all about. Okay, so you know where to go. And don't forget, if you want to get a special discount on the Automate My Trading course, where you learn how to build your own trading robots, then all you need to do is jump over there, sign up to my email list. It's pretty obvious where it is, and you'll find out about that in the coming days. If you're listening to this in the future, then sorry, you missed out. Okay, until next time, bye.